John, you had something for the hold up section today.
Absolutely, man. So today we decided to turn the hold up section to shine some light on some pretty dope people I consider superheroes for Black History Month.
Yes.
Today we're going to talk today. Our Black History person, our superhero for today is going to be Paul Laurence Dunbar, a guy from my hometown, Dayton, Ohio, was born and raised, and he died in Dayton, Ohio. And what was interesting about Paul Laurence Dunbar is he was one of the premier artists of the first generation of Black Americans away from slavery. So that first generation after they were freed, it was right before that Harlem Renaissance and some into the Harlem Renaissance. He played a big part as a poet and a writer. And I thought it was incredible. One reason I call him a superhero, man, is anybody who's ever had to deal with any kind of racial injustice in this country on a consistent basis kind of understands one of his most important poems that he wrote, which is a poem called Mask. And I have a little quote from that poem, if you don't mind me sharing that. But the quote goes, "We wear the mask that grins and lies. It hides our cheeks and shades our eyes. This debt we pay to human guile. With torn and bleeding hearts we smile." And the poem is a lot longer than that, but that's a really big, important quote from that poem. And to me, what I thought was interesting and why I selected that for Paul Laurence Dunbar was because one of his greatest contributions to Black American art was he started to write. He was one of the first artists from slavery to write in the African American dialect and vernacular to his poems.
Yes.
Which I put as my notes for a story time. That means Paul Laurence Dunbar had bars. One of the original OG bars. Because he also spoke a lot in verse. He did a lot of rhyming in verse in his poem. So shout out to Paul Laurence Dunbar for that. But also, he was an extremely intelligent guy. Like, he graduated high school. I believe he was like the only Black kid in his school. The legend says he was really close friends with Orville Wright, who was one of the founders of aviation. If you ever go to Dayton, Ohio, the Air Force Base has a big thing, a museum around the Wright brothers. And he, I guess, left such a big impression on him that they, post his death, established his home as one of the historic landmarks in Ohio. Wow. And it's not too far. Like, actually, you can go to the, of course, it's in the hood, but I don't call it the hood. I just call it the West Side. It's still a beautiful home. I actually have a picture of it. I'm going to pull up for you guys if you guys ever want to see what I consider to be, legendary status. This guy's parents were slaves who, I think his father freed himself from the Underground Railroad all the way to Canada. This house was remodeled, looks just like that, man. And when you walk through it, you get chills because of how dope he was as a Black American. And final piece of information I forgot, he had one of the biggest ups that an artist can get. So one of his heroes goes by the name of Frederick Douglass, who was like the major artist that was born a slave, probably the first major artist out of the slavery period. And Frederick Douglass, go look him up, Google him. Dave Chappelle quotes him a lot. He's a legend in the game, man, superhero to me. But legend has it, Paul Laurence Dunbar, who taught it, was really good at reading and writing in school, went to a speech competition. I forgot the city. Frederick Douglass was there. And in that exchange, Frederick Douglass was so astounded by his talent that he heavily encouraged him to continue in what we know today to be those wonderful poems and short stories he wrote. Many of them were refashioned and recited by Maya Angelou, another great legend. So this guy is a heavy hitter. A lot of people don't probably know about him. My city reps him a lot. We have a high school named Dunbar. Shout out to all the Dunbar high school graduates. My mom graduated from Dunbar. It's a predominantly Black high school, but it still carries his name. And I wanted to shout him out because he was from my hometown, you know. He's an artist.
Mm-hmm. I used to that was one of my poems that I recited when I was younger. The In the Morning by Paul Laurence Dunbar in the vernacular. Lies, lies. Bless the Lord. Don't you know the days abroad? And that's all I remember.
Yeah. That's all that's necessary. Bars.
That's it. Bars.
Bars.
Bless the Lord.
Matter of fact, say it again. Do it one more time.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a hold. Let me look at it. Yeah, lie, lie. Bless the Lord. Don't you know the days abroad? What's his name? If you don't get up, you scamp, it's gonna be trouble in this camp. Daylight all is shining in. While you sleep, while you sin. Candlelight enough. Just a fun without the bitter snuff. But you go the morning through, burning up the daylight too. And that's where I stopped.
Boom.
Bars. Yeah. Somebody else's.
Yeah.
Ooh, maybe that's what Paul Laurence done. Bars.
Bars. Paul Laurence done bars. But no, that was dope, Tandy. And for those who don't understand the importance of why him writing that in vernacular was important for culturally Black culture, this was a time when he was heavily criticized for writing in that tongue because of the connotations it had towards the mass population and what he was trying to get. So it's, you know, a person like me who was told in one point, at some point, I'm not going to go into it, you know, you can't use this word, you can't speak like that. I remember it was basketball, freshman year in basketball. We kept saying, what word were we saying? I think we were saying bruh. We kept saying bruh to each other. And I remember our coach, who didn't understand it being just something that we ironically say with endearment as a, you know, fun thing that you know, say to each other. For whatever reason, he took offense to it, and I think because he didn't understand it. And in a kind of way, what Paul Laurence Dunbar wrote, he was taking that risk of people are going to think this is ignorant. People are not going to see the value and the irony in how I'm using this. And to this day, you know, it's been able to keep alive the irony of some of the stuff and language that people have used on us, and for, you know, the culture to be able to use it ironically in a form of love and entertainment is, to me, like an amazing thing, right? So shout out to Paul Laurence Dunbar. Shout out to the city of Dayton who raised me.
It's always about Dayton.
Not always, but I'm just saying. I mean,
you know, I mean, that's cool though. I mean, I'm all right with that because every town needs their representation.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, I got others. I mean, there's others from there. I got a Houston on there.
I'm messing with you. No. But I like the duality. It's the duality, man. The fact that he could write in both, right? And the fact that writing it preserves it, because if it's spoken, it exists. But when you have it on paper, especially during his time, I mean, that was probably the closest to what it really sounded like if you wrote it out than maybe what we have today. So, yeah, shout out to him for that.
Yeah. And Connor Woods said the first quote you shared and then the writing in the vernacular really reminds me about code switching, feeling like you have to change your behavior based on the company you're around. Absolutely, man. That's a big point. I know one of my other favorite artists is Ralph Ellison, and of course W.E.B. Du Bois referenced and used a lot of Paul Laurence Dunbar's writings to explore the concept of like double consciousness, you know, like being, you know, not just a Black American in my day. I don't think it's just for Black Americans, but any American here who feels the consciousness of how being an American and also simultaneously being not an American or feeling like you're not an American because of how people are treating you, right? Having those two concepts in your head going on, like you said, Connor, depending on the company you keep, the business you work in, even the industry you're in, you know? So yeah, again, shout out to Paul Laurence Dunbar.
We cut to that with the Southside Colts on the median Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. You may not know me. My name is Jeff Bezos, and I see your kids here on the Jeff Bezos. I founded Amazon. You see,
sound
I
like,
see that.
sound like Harry Shearer, you know, the guy that does some voices on The Simpsons. Going on, no. All right.
I seen your kids here on the median, playing, ask for money, laughing, and I don't really get it, and I find it kind of offensive. So I was thinking of giving money, but I'll only do it if they will stop being so happy because I don't understand it.
Stop being happy. How much money are we talking about?
As much money as you can imagine. I'm one of the richest men on the planet.
Carlton, come here. Come here, Carlton.
Hey, what's up, Coach?
Hey, this man wants y'all to stop being happy, and he said he's gonna give us all the money we need, and probably even more than that.
I said give it to you. I said I have it.
Oh,
but
I'm sorry. So what we talking?
Who is this guy, Coach?
I don't know. He sound like I'm sorry. Tell him your name there. So,
my name is Jeff Bezos. I'm sure you've used Amazon. Everybody's used Amazon.
You know, you sound a lot like Harry Shearer.
Second time I've heard that.
I love them Amazon packages when you just open them up and it just go, it's just something about it. When I just cut through that tape. Yeah, I know the company. Oh, you that guy. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I was just passing by here and I heard the laughter of children and it bothered me. So I decided to come over here and I decided to use money to solve my problem.
Oh.
Yeah, so we can get some of the money then if the children stop expressing happiness.
I will give you $500 right now if they stop. No, make that $5,000. No, make that $50,000 right now, as long as they do not laugh in my earshot ever again.
That'll put me over the top over them Missouri City, the Missouri City side. You know, they came with a lot of money last time.
Isn't there a Amazon fulfillment center out in Missouri City, Mr. Bezos?
Yes, there is.
I don't know, Coach.
What?
I don't trust this guy.
You don't trust him?
I don't trust him. He could be one of those spies from Missouri City group, you know,
throwing us off our game.
Throwing us off.
You're right.
How do we know you are Jeff Bezos, the Amazon? You know, we don't see. Why are you over here, Jeff?
Look at my signature Patagonia jacket. That's what Jeff Bezos always wears.
Patagonia?
Is that?
Did you buy those from those three guys down the street?
You know, the ones that take out the dents, push you where you want to go, and
they're always walking around with Patagonia. They say they get it from the people they help.
Going on.
Maybe I did invest in three gentlemen down the street who are enterprising.
Well, I think what we should do is if Mr. Bezos here is really about it, why don't he sponsor the Southside Coats himself? Be the Southside Amazon Coats, I guess.
Amazon Southside Coats.
Southside
Amazons.
Southside Amazons.
Southside Amazon. It just doesn't rhyme. It doesn't work. I like the coats in there. The coats.
You need to have coats.
Can't have a football team mascot be a river, you know?
Yeah, they're a football team?
Yeah.
Sorry, the kid was wearing a face mask as a helmet. I was confused.
That's part of the donation cycle. You know, he wears each piece, and somebody say, "Oh, you don't have the helmet part," and they give it to him. Mm-hmm. Oh, you don't have the mouth guard, and they give it to him. It's all part of the plan.
Yeah.
You know, it's confusing to you though. But you know, I tell you what, Miss. I tell you what, we can stop being happy. I know he might be a spy, but $50,000 is a lot of money. Y'all can go straight to school. Wouldn't even have to beg out here before school time. But you are still gonna beg on the weekends, though. Those are our biggest times. But I mean, 50,000 is a lot. We can. All right, look, I'll keep the kids from being happy. I don't know.
How are you gonna do that?
Oh, that's what I'm thinking about.
I like to be sure my money is being used wisely. I want a guarantee that these kids will not be experiencing happiness here. How are you going to guarantee me that?
Well, I got my Rolls Royce over here parked on the back street. I'm almost out of gas. I could probably just get them to push me all the way back home. That's really gonna mess with them. They used to running 400s in 2 seconds, but they're not used to pushing a car from on Scott Street all the way to
all of a sudden when the three guys pop up, somebody needs a car push.
No, man,
we can handle that for sure. Throw a little money our way.
I got some kids. It's part of this plan that we're working on. I'm trying to break them down, not let them be happy. And
hey, I'm looking at your Rolls Royce. It's tilted a little bit to the side. You notice that you kind of slide
and seen. That is the Can't Tell Us Nothing show, everybody. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. All the people who left comments. Thank you, Nick, Steve, Ken, Joshua, Brian.
Yeah,
awesome. Contessa,
Connor.
Yeah.
Always great to see you guys. John, Amici, Tandy, any outgoing words for people? Lessons learned, quotes from favorite poems.
So I was the quote that comes to mind as I was looking up a lot of Paul Lawrence Dunbar's stuff. There was a quote that I saw called I don't want to mess it up, but the quote was it was, "I am human, therefore nothing that is human is alien to me." And what that means, for what I got, that means is it's a really big quote on empathy, right? Black History Month, it's something that is a part of American history, but just because it's a month doesn't mean that you can't. We're separated from any other American. We deserve empathy. We're human, and the things that you've seen happen to anyone is as human as you can possibly imagine. It means it's in all of us. All of us has the capabilities of doing that. So let's all treat each other like we're a part of the same race. Man. We can be racist towards aliens from outer space.
Wise words from John.
Aliens.
What about you, Amici?
I don't have anything.
All right. What about you, Tandy?
It's probably a good idea to think about the amount of money you spend trying to save money or trying to I don't know, I guess do what you think makes sense with money. If it costs more to go to the ATM than to pay by Venmo or Cash App, then give Venmo and Cash App.
Give Venmo and Cash App.
It'll be all right.
Give it the times. And for me, I don't know, invest in some stocks, people. Get in there. Mix it up. But yeah, for John, for Michi, for DJ Comfy, get them jams queued up. For John, for Michi, for Tandy, for myself, Antoine. That's the Can't Tell Us Nothing show. Thank you again for tuning in. DJ Comfy will play us out when he unmutes himself.
I was playing it. I was just getting it ready.
Later, Brian.
Peace.